Hey Pisces, hope that you're doing well. Welcome to my channel, Adrian H, your page in Great Life. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a holistic wellness practitioner. I'm also the spiritual regression hypnosis. For all of you that always join me, welcome back. This is a general reading for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising and Ascending for November 2020. You can also look at your Mercury if there's any communication concerns. You can look at your Venus for love. There is a link down below in the description that says free natal chart. So if you don't know where those placements are, you can have a look. It's always very good to know where your placements are, because then you can look at other readings and you can sort of have, like, that comparative view for what's going on. My beautiful graphic design, as always, is done by AC Digital Marketing Solutions, my best friend who does such amazing work. There's a link down below in the description for as well, AC Digital Marketing Solutions for social media management and graphic design. Let's see what we've got for you for a general reading, Pisces, for November 2020. I'm using my OSHO deck, which is so exciting. I haven't used it in months. One of my clients actually gave it to me as a gift. Such a beautiful gift. I was totally moved. I really was. It was such a beautiful thing. And I haven't used them in months, not for personal readings, not for Facebook Lives, not for Instagram, not for YouTube. So November 2020, here we go. We are using them, so we're going to see what we have. I've been getting a lot of the same sort of cards. Well, not for you. Wow. What a powerful way for you to start off your reading. I was going to say that I've been getting a lot of the same cards for a lot of the, for a lot of the readings, but seemingly not for you. Okay, you're approaching things from a whole different angle. Some people might not be understanding what you're doing right now, but oh my goodness, are you flowing with things? Wow. Oh, okay, let's see. Too many cards. Let's just put them back in again. Okay. And look at this. Look at this. Wow. Look at this. Some powerful stuff happening here for you, Pisces. One more card for what's coming towards you, immediate future. That one's sticking up. There we go. Okay. So, making a popular return, as it did in many of the other readings, existence. This is the seed of sort of like creation, or however it hasn't been in this sort of powerful position for any of the other readings as it actually is for you. This is about being reminded of who you really are. When you peel away all these layers of who and what we become in this world, feeling that we need to fit in, feeling that we need to be different. Maybe I shouldn't be so sensitive. I should try a little bit of this and I should try a little bit of that. It's like that song says, try a little tenderness, For you, it's almost like trying a little bit of you. Okay, I feel that for many of you, you sort of tried a whole lot of other things. You tried to be strong, you tried to be supportive, you tried to be happy. You're like, how about just trying to be like a little bit of myself? And so for you, this is a touch of, authenticity. So beautiful. All right, cool. Let's look at what is your recent past, what brought you to where you currently are. The Master, that is what had me smiling. And then you've got fighting, and you have got sharing. So I feel that for many of you, you actually became quite clear about what it is that you'd like your life to be like. It's like a moment of epiphany that you hit. And you realize this is what I actually want. And for many of you, it might have sort of seemed like a little bit of the impossible dream, a little bit too far to reach. And but there's a sense of determination. And I feel that for many of you, you had to work really hard to sort of reach the point that you got to sort of, get yourself to where you are now. You had to work really hard for it. You had to put a lot of effort into it. You sort of had to chew quite a lot of tough bones, to sort of get to where you are right now. And now that you've reached this beautiful point, it's about sharing, it's about shining outwards. Okay? Now, where you currently are, you've got the Thunderbolt, you've got postponement, so now you're ready for new dreams. And in fact, you've got the dream. Okay? And then coming towards you, moment to moment in reverse, compromise and ripeness. Okay, so, and usually, these last three cards might not be the best sort of setup happening, but in your case, it's actually quite good. Okay, because I feel that it took you such a kind of while to sort of get to where you are. It's like for you, you're just sort of effortlessly shining. Have been there for a while, more and more and more. And it's like a lot of people didn't quite see your brightness. It's almost like some people expected you to give up, or to not follow through, or to not really succeed. It's almost like people were feeling that you were just throwing another tantrum sort of thing. You were just looking for maybe a little bit of attention, but you kind of knew what you were doing. And I feel that it took a lot of strength for you to I feel very much develop yourself into the version of where you are now. So there was quite a vision that you had in your mind for what it is that you'd like to be. Now, it doesn't matter whether you are a card reader, whether you're like a bodybuilder. It doesn't really matter what you are. Academic, it doesn't really matter. You had this goal, this vision for what it is that you'd like to be, and it took you a lot to get there. I feel it took a lot of your inner strength. Some of you didn't even know that you had this much strength, to be able to do what you are, or to get where you are getting now. And now that you are there, it's like there's this moment where you look back and you just realize it was definitely all worth it. It was really, really all worth it. It was worth the effort and the energy and the tears that you cried. It was worth all of that. Now, where you are at the moment, there's a lot of you have you've built a lot of sort of walls up around you, survival mechanisms really, for in order to get through the world. Because with a sensitive energy that you have, that natural sort of empath energy, a lot of you had to sort of put your barriers up because the world was just too harsh for you. You just couldn't deal with it. You just literally couldn't. And I feel that for many of you, there were times when it was very difficult for you to deal with the world. And there was a lot of criticism as a result of it, a lot of harsh words, really. A lot of what I kind of feel unnecessary pain. And so a lot of you had to really put a lot of walls up in order to survive. And those layers are like moving away. But whereas it might have taken a lot of hardship, and a lot of challenges to build these walls up and to sort of, make it almost like, for some of you, you didn't really want the world to see the efforts that you had to go through in order to survive, in order to be strong. You didn't want everybody else to see that part about you. But now, what's basically happening is where you are right now. Just because it was challenging building up these walls doesn't mean they have to be broken down with challenges as well. It's sort of like as this light comes out of your heart, the sun comes out of your heart, it's like the mist sort of just moving away, like the clouds moving away in front of the sun. It's a very gentle sort of process. And for many of you, you want to know this where you are right now. It is safe for you to start dreaming a new dream now. It's safe for you to, and for some of you, you actually want to, it doesn't mean that you don't appreciate where you are. It doesn't mean that you're not happy with where you are, reveling with where you are. In fact, because of that, now you can sort of open your mind to dreaming new stuff. What would you like to have in your life next? What would you like to welcome into your life next? Because whereas before you might have, you needed to fight really, really hard for what it is that you wanted to get, where you are right now, there's not really that necessity to really have to, fight that sort of tooth and nail to get to where it is that you want to be, because first of all, the barriers are gone, so you don't have to spend so much energy releasing that barriers. For many of you, those barriers are still releasing, and as they are releasing, you can start dreaming new dreams. Now, this is what you want to be careful of, because sometimes you can really hold on to things, so maybe you had a friend or somebody like that was quite important to you at a time, and as life is removing that person away from you, out of your life, without you really needing to do anything, you want to be careful that you don't really hold on so much that you want to take them with you, to wherever it is that you're going next or doing next, because maybe they're just not ready. And if somebody's not ready, they're not ready, and it is really what it is, Sometimes we want to make it such a thing. When they're not ready, they're not ready. It is what it is, okay? And also, this is a wonderful confirmation for you, but you also want to be mindful of this, mindful of your thoughts, mindful of the thoughts and the beliefs and the thinking and the value, about your words and all those type of things that you're allowing yourself to have right now, because there's beautiful daydreaming taking place, which is wonderful, and you are actually encouraged to daydream right now, but you want to be very mindful that you don't daydream into the darker sort of avenues, because whatever you're starting to place your mind on, it's beginning to come true. The moment you start thinking about it, the universe goes to work to get it done for you. Now, that is always the case, but because you've come through this profound healing where you are at the moment, things are manifesting so much faster for you at the moment. However, the wonderful thing is also, when we do the inner work, we sort of place ourselves at a more positive sort of pedestal step type of thing, and so life understands really at the core what it is that you'd like to have. And so there's a lot of those sort of core values, if you want to call it that, your personal core values that are in the process of coming true, very much so. So things can actually become quite exciting for you very, 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 very quickly. This is almost like a magical sort of show that's taking place over here, something like, Disney on Ice or something like that, something really quite spectacular is busy happening here for you, because remember where you are with your current energy at the moment. You're at the seat of creation. This is where you are at the moment. It's almost like when you're still just a soul, just energy, and you're not yet in the body, and you sort of like, you sort of assess what you're going to do in this life, where you're going to go, where you're going to be born, how you're going to be born, what circumstances, why are you doing this life, There is basically, for a lot of you, there is a seat where you are at the moment. You can sort of create your dream life right now, and you are the one who get to pull the strings. Now, with this moment to moment coming towards you, for some of you, it's weird. You actually feel that you're out of the flow, because for some of you, as you go forward, and you want to remember this, we sometimes feel that when we're in the flow, we need to always feel very happy and very sort of euphoric, and everything has to be a reason to, just want to celebrate and stuff like that. But when we're in the flow, when we're in that flow, we don't think about being in the flow. We're just in the flow. All right. So don't try to make life any different from what it actually is. Okay. If you are feeling very present at one moment, that's absolutely fantastic. If you are feeling, sort of like you're not even really sure, is this world even real? Are you even real? Is this all just sort of like a figment of your imagination? That's also fine. You don't try to work so hard to always want to feel present. Because one of the reasons why we sometimes feel like we are failing at life is because we're trying to sort of follow some kind of formula, some sort of, way that we've been told. If you're happy, this is how it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to feel. And even within your own life, within your own joy, just because feeling happy like this yesterday or an hour ago or 10 minutes ago, this is how I felt. Maybe now you're ready for a different sort of happiness. So it doesn't always have to feel 100% the same to how it felt before. Allow yourself to feel different experiences of life, because remember, there's also I feel that your flow with life is of such a way at the moment that when you put your thoughts out there for what it is that you want to have, because your relationship with life is so good at the moment, this is almost like literally like a daydream, where when you have a daydream, you sort of, in a sense, sort of, you slip into that particular kind of energy. And so as you start to release where you are at the moment, as you start to release a lot of these these walls and these barriers of protection that you felt you needed at the time for protection, with that great sense of wisdom that came there from your recent past that you worked so hard for, where you are at the moment, as you change your thoughts and your beliefs and what you focus on, your feeling inside by default is going to change as well. So one minute you feel like, this sort of happiness, and the moment next one you feel that sort of happiness, and then it's a very sort of bubbly, excited happiness, and then it's a more sort of calm happiness. But that in itself, yeah, it is sort of, it is, when we manifest, the universe understands energy. So when we manifest, it is the energy that the universe picks up. So because there's a couple of different things that you might be, like it's one big dream that you're looking at, but you're looking at the different facets of the dream. And so as you look at the different facets of the dream, it feels different, the sort of like the feel that you get when when you kind of manifest your job, or the feel that you have when you manifest your home, or your perfect partner, or, your car, or whatever it may be, really. It's still happiness, it's still joy, but it feels sort of different. You know what I mean? You get a very different sort of happy feel, for example, when you see your partner, your parents, your children, your dog, your plants, a project come together. You're happy about all of it, but it's a different sort of happiness, and it's okay, because life is all about diversity. It's all about feeling that, okay? So you want to have the willingness to allow, and I feel that it's quite important for many of you, want to have the willingness to allow the levels of happiness that you feel, the degrees of happiness that you feel, the sort of associations around it. You want to allow it to sort of fluctuate as it chooses to do so, and instead of trying to control it, more sort of paying attention and say, what is life going to give me next? Where is life going to lead me next? How is life going to surprise me next? So in that sense, you're not trying to micromanage anything. You are giving life a chance, and you are seeing, where is all of this going to take me? All right. And because I feel for many of you, they in the recent past there, with the master, you came to the realization, for many of you, that your life doesn't have to be the way that you always thought it's going to be. It can be different, it can be better. And so you really set to work there to make that come to pass. But as we said, for some of you, you had to work through a lot of barriers and through a lot of maybe sort of limiting beliefs, a lot of like things that were being said, so you had to sort of really break out of that shell. You had to break the shell from the inside, really. But now you've sort of broken the shell. Now your sort of experience, your alignment with the law of attraction, is different now. Because before, where you felt the need, where you needed to work really hard to get to where it is that you wanted to get, where you are now, there's a sort of realization that you don't actually have to work that hard. Okay, there's a lot of inner healing that has been done, and so you sort of want to open yourself to the idea now that even though you can work that hard, you don't have to. Um, you don't have to. All right, and as you do that, I feel that for many of you, as you do that, your understanding of experiencing happiness, of manifestation, of unfolding, of alignment, is changing in such a way whereas I feel for many of you sort of moving past the whole, I need to make a vision board, I need to say affirmations, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that, I need to put in the hard work to get what I want to get. For a lot of you, you've put in the hard work, and it paid off really, really well for you. it brought you to very unexpected sort of things, you know, things that maybe taking steps and actions that people might have sort of found kind of predictable about you, but never really expected that you're going to go and take those steps. All right. So in a sense, even though some of your actions, you know, might have been somewhat predictable to those of you know who know you well, they're still somewhat surprised by you know the steps that you've taken. Okay, never maybe thought that you're going to follow through with it, and yet here you are. All right, let's clarify for you existence. So first card that came out is Six of Wands. That one has been coming out a lot in the readings for November 2020. So all the hard work that you've done, it's really paying off. Okay, that's 120 cards, but these are the ones that came out on top, so we're going to take this and let's say one more. Okay, let's get you one more. So you've got the Six of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. Marriages on the cards. Okay, two cards, three cards. Okay, all right. So Six of Wands and Six of Pentacles. Actually, that's where we're at. For many of you, you didn't really, you know, it's, you may have thought that things were going to come together, but, you know, for many of you, it was always like the money just wasn't there, the time just wasn't right, you know, somebody got a promotion over you, that sort of thing. No, this is your turn now. This is your time for the money. This is your time for the promotion. Five of Swords. Why is this happening? Because a lot of the thoughts, a lot of the beliefs about yourself, the beliefs about life, about your value, about your word, about I have to work hard, you know, a lot of those beliefs that you had, those beliefs are not with you anymore. So you don't have that sort of limitation anymore. Okay, for many of you understand now, when you want something, you can actually just ask from it from life, you know, and then you do the inner work. What is it that is holding me back from that? And I feel for many of you, and this might be wonderful news, especially for those of you that were always struggling with emotions, very easily absorbing other people's emotions and being influenced by those. There's a stability of emotions coming about here for your Eight of Wands, all right? A beautiful stability of emotions, and look at this. We've got the Lovers, we've got the Eight of Cups, and we've got the Hierophant. The Eight of Cups was actually before the Lovers. So a lot of you have stepped away from, you know, what others sort of expected of you, what they felt that you should do, how they felt that you should live your life. You sort of stepped away from that. You were like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to allow myself to be dictated by other people's thoughts, by other people's, you know, expectations, by their beliefs. I'm not going to do it, you know. Incredible period for love, incredible period for miracles for you, and a blank slate again with the Hierophant there. The Hierophant is very much, you know, sort of like a blank slate, but not blank like you had very much in the beginning. Remember what you're reading there with the Master? Where's that card now? Let me just show you all. Remember you had the Master right in the beginning with your recent past. What you envision for yourself, what you envision for your life, it is now literally coming to pass. But, you know, even though it's a blank slate, you're not starting with nothing, because there is your dream, there is your experience, there is your knowledge of life, there is your knowing of who you actually are, you know, and who you can choose to become. All right. And if it resonates with you, you're more than welcome to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Remember, if you subscribe, to also hit that notification bell. Remember, AC Digital Marketing Solutions does beautiful graphic design and social media management. And we're going to end up for you, Pisces, with, for your November 2020 reading, with a Moonology card to see what is the energy, the beautiful, loving, you know, almost motherly energy of the moon. What has it got to say for you? What a beautiful reading, eh? Wow, I love that. I love that so much. Okay, I thought that one was coming up. Let's see. I'm going to take the top card, and it says, I think it's the same one, if I remember, I think for Cancer. Step out of your comfort zone. We're with the North now. All right? It's time for you to shine, baby. It's time for you to shine. And so it is. Namaste. Love and light. Thanks for your time.